We're back for another edition of Sounds of the Valley, where we highlight local artists and show their lives on and off screen. And with us today is somebody you might recognize if you've seen them around town, performing on different venues, or you might have seen them right here on Tennessee Valley Living performing live. It is none other than Mr. Alex Banks, saxophonist. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. At this point, we're friends. Like we're here, we're locked in.
Absolutely.
So just tell me, as far as just like your music career, what really just inspired you to pursue music and saxophone playing at that?
So it's kind of like two-edged, right? So it's like, first one was like, my mom wanted to play saxophone at a young age, but she couldn't for various reasons. So she wanted me to like try it out. She was like, oh, like you should try this. I was like, all right, let's try it. So I did the audition, and I was like, yeah, I was still into sports too. Like I played basketball, but it wasn't until like the band came to like, I think my elementary school, and like the guy who took a solo was the saxophone guy, right? So I'm like, I want to be hip. I want to take the solo. So from there, I started my saxophone journey from that point. That was kind of what my inspiration was.
Awesome. Okay, so you started your career, and basically how have you just been pursuing it throughout the years? Like what venues and what are some of the highlights that you've seen over your years so far?
Oh man. So it's a couple of them actually. I got to open up for Kool and the Gang when they were here.
Oh.
That was a pretty big one. Jazz in the Park was a big one. I did Jazz in the Park 2016 and 2017. I got to play at the Perfect Note in Birmingham, which a lot of like the greats touch the stage. That was pretty big. So the first time I played there, it was pretty huge. Also being able to play with like jazz artists like 480 East and Cindy Bradley. I got to do 2 dates with Cindy Bradley and 1 date with 480 East. And those are kind of the moments of my career so far.
Awesome. So I know being a musician isn't like the easiest road. What are some of the hardships that you've personally seen throughout your career?
I think for me, the hardest part about it is actually breaking into the scene, right? So it's like the time and investment of like money and finances that you have to put into just to be like, just to get that breaking moment. And it's like, you never know, right? So you can pour much money, much time, much resources, and then you're like, oh, well, no, wait, you got just one more step, So I think it's like not knowing the breakthrough point. Every breakthrough point is different for everybody else. So it's like, depending on who you work with and, the opportunities you get and maximizing them, depending on how far you go.
So what's your favorite part of just like performing?
Crowd interaction. Crowd interaction. And it's kind of funny because like when I play, I'm gonna tell you a trick, right? I look into the crowd and like I kind of scan the crowd, and whoever locks eyes with me and like is like looking at me move, I'm going to them first.
That's it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so, because like you have like that like one or like two people that are like, wow. So I'm like, I'm going to him or her first,
Right.
Because at that point it's like, okay, now I can serenade you and hey, maybe you can buy a CD, Maybe you can, come to another show. Like so
exactly. And I think that matters, and people want to feel like connected to the people that they see on stage.
And more times than that, when they're gazing like that, they feel like I'm only playing to them. So I really actually want to only play to them for a hot second.
Oh, that's precious.
Yeah.
What are you performing for us today?
Ooh. So today I'm performing one of my singles off of my most recent album, Endless Journey, called Miles Ahead. It's called Miles Ahead because I think this album that I released in 21 was like, life's a journey, and so everything is catered to like, the journey that you're on. So it's like, oh, we have a lot of miles ahead. Like, let's keep trucking, so that's why I call it that.
I love that.